Oh shit, my bad. Hey, my bad. Hey. How does the audio sound through the actual AirPod? Does it sound good or does it sound fuzzy too?
Fuzzy.
Fuck.
No, but I think on your recording it should be fine, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll edit that in post up.
All right, so hold on a second. So what we doing? Yo, I got some shit to get off my chest. Honestly, I was heated earlier, but I'll say that.
This is good. We didn't talk about any of it prior to this.
Yeah. So, welcome to the no bullshit podcast. How should I say the actual shit part or just keep it no bull? What do you think? This is just R&D right now. Just behind the scenes.
That sounded good. I mean, usually what like right now, like just a word from our sponsors.
Hey, chill. What the fuck? Hey, thank you, Rose Gold. That's my label for sponsoring us.
And Cash App.
Yeah, and Cash App for sure. And Trojan, actually, Trojan, yeah.
And
Nah.
Manscaped.
Okay, well, welcome to the No Bull Podcast. This is episode 1. My name is Paul. Daddy P, as I go by my music. I'm a musician. And then I got here with me. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Marcel.
Hey, chill. You say like you sounded you're in class or some bullshit. Hey, yeah, throw some swag on there.
Name's Sally Cell.
Yeah, let's go.
Just a jack of all trades, really.
That's facts. You should see this man hoop. Hey, I've been hooping more. I've been trying to get my shot wetty. Low key.
Yeah.
No.
Not too.
No, on some hey, no bullshit though. No bullshit. Like I've been playing every day for like 2.5 weeks now, almost 3 weeks. And like I can actually like dribble and shit like with my left hand and stuff. And I'm getting pretty decent. I know, but like I never played basketball before, but like my shot just feels good. Like I feel confident just pulling up and just hitting it. Before I would just shoot it and like I didn't know what was gonna happen. But now I feel like it just feels like the game slowed down, bro. Like the game just slower. And like, you know,
like the days of the POW.
Yep. All right. So originally we're gonna just do a review. You text me, you hit me up, and you asked me if I watched 2001 Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. And what happened? Did you just watch that recently or what?
Yeah, I'm like on a sci-fi bender right now.
That's cool.
I watched that one. I tried to get into Blade Runner, couldn't really do it. I'm gonna check out the 2049 version, but yeah, no, it all started with this one, and I felt like I had to talk to somebody about it.
No, I feel that. I haven't seen the new Blade Runner, but the original's all right. It's a little slow. It's a little long. If you're gonna watch it, you gotta watch the director's cut. But 2049, hey, I heard Kanye. That's what he used to put on the background when he was making music. Just on that, yeah, that he would just watch Blade Runner. He would just put it on the background and just so he could create because it helps him create.
Well, just like the whole aesthetic of it is just like it's a vibe.
Yeah. No, yeah, it definitely is. It has its own vibe and shit. Fucking sci-fi shit. So yeah, you text me and you're like, hey, like what you think about this movie? And this movie's a trip, bro. I remember when I first saw it. So I saw it a long time ago, but I didn't really pay attention. And then I watched it recently, a couple months ago, like during quarantine, maybe a year ago. Okay. And I was like just going through a binge of just watching a bunch of like old classic movies. And I was like, I put it on, I sat down, and I was like, what the fuck is this movie, bro? But it was lit because like Hal's lit for sure. But I remember just being like, this movie's a trip. But this time when I watched it, I did a little more research. I got a little more background information, and it's kind of woke. It's kind of ahead of its time, dude.
Way ahead of its time, man. You know, so yeah, I tried to do a little bit of research after because I was just like mind blown. And like what was kind of trippy to me was like his idea of space, and I think it was before the moon landing.
Oh, before he made the fake videos about us landing on the moon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
allegedly.
100. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a different pod though.
Nah. But honestly, do you think we actually landed on the moon?
I'm not gonna get into that right now.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Uh,
I think
but
I
yeah,
think I think we did.
no, but that's kind of trippy though. That he all that is without us ever going to the moon or anything like that. So no, it was definitely way ahead of its time. And yeah.
All right, so I've been trying to do a series straight up. I've been trying to do a series for a long time where it was gonna be called R&R, and it was basically
Okay.
gonna be reviews and ranked. So basically I was gonna review shit and then rank it like on my own ranking system. And it was gonna be like, so basically I was gonna do like different directors or different series,
Mm-hmm.
and then or different like albums. I was thinking about doing music too. So like I would just go through a quick review of like all the Drake albums and then just like rank them and see what I think. But I was trying to do it for movies too. And so like I had a format for that.
Okay.
And basically it was gonna be like I would go through the plot of it, kind of just like a rough edit, and then after we would just kind of just talk about it or talk through the plot or whatever, and then kind of give thoughts and then rank it at the end. I don't know if you're down for that, or you just want to give your thoughts if you just got something to say.
No, I like that. I like that outline. I mean, we didn't talk about this before, so I was like, I wonder which direction we're gonna go with this. And I
Yeah.
think like to yeah, like summarize it first because like maybe there's stuff that like we missed, and then we'll just talk about it on the way.
Yeah, so this is 2001 Space Odyssey of Stanley Kubrick. um as you said, it was like, I think he was planning to do like a series, right? Because he has a second one, and this one's all like the dawn of man, as you said, as it
Right.
as it popped up too in the beginning. um so this was like the first chapter in a series that he was trying to do. um so this movie, let me see, when did this movie actually come out?
68.
68.
Yeah.
Damn. When did we land? When did he make those fake videos for the moon?
I don't know. Sometime really really soon after, or right after that. I think
So
while they were filming, it was. I think by the time it came out, there was already the landing, but yeah, something like that.
so yeah, this was good practice for him for sure.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Um yeah, Apollo 11, first crewed mission to land on the moon, July 20th, 1969.
Yeah.
So we can go through the actors real quick, the characters. Let me see.
Yeah. Now that we think about that, the characters, like, I even the characters in this movie just like seem really unimportant.
Okay.
In from an individual standpoint, I would
Yeah.
say that each one, because like the whole thing, there's like three main characters really in each like chapter. It feels
Hmm.
like you never really get any attachment or like emotional investment in any of them.
So I did a
And
little bit towards the end with Hal and Dave at the end when he's like,
but
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
how's a computer?
yeah. But he's very sentient or like aware and conscious. I think he did actually have like some type of consciousness. But basically, you got Dr. Dave Bowman.
Mhm.
He's Dave. You got Frank Poole, Frank. You got, and then Haywood Floyd, who's like
Mhm.
the president of the
Mhm.
astronautical thing, whatever. Those are like the three main characters,
Then you
including
got the moon watcher, the monkey, the man ape.
Oh, okay. Daniel Richter was the Moonwatcher. Keir Dolia was Dave. Gary Lockwood was Frank Poole. William Sylvester was Floyd. And then you got Hal, who was played by Douglas Rain.
Great voice for Hal.
Yeah, for sure. That shit was pretty creepy.
Yeah, we could just start with like the first chapter, just the man apes and how they're living and what comes of that.
Yeah, so the movie opens up. It's what's the first shot of this movie actually?
The man apes, and they're in a group, like group of man apes, and they're living together with like, it seems like pigs or hogs or something.
Yeah, they got their little tribe going.
Yeah, they got a tribe going, and they're like picking through sticks looking for food that way. And it's just kind of weird because there's like a food source right in front of them with these pigs.
Yeah.
But yet the whole tribe is just struggling.
Yeah, and it starts off, the apes are surviving and they have their tribe, and then this little area, right? And they're getting attacked by it shows them getting attacked by like leopards and shit. And they're trying to like fight that, and it shows them like at nighttime, and they're all fucking scared too, and it says like, well, I watched it with subtitles on, and it said like leopards, you can hear leopards in the distance, and they're like all scared, and they're just trying to survive. It's these fucking group of monkeys, and they're just trying to survive, or apes. And then it goes to a shot of the monolith. And so they're all trying to survive, and then one day they just wake up, and this fucking black slab, the slab is just sitting there in the middle of their little area, and they're just tripping out, and they're like, what the fuck is this thing? And obviously they're all scared to touch it, and they're just like very wary, and they're like kind of just like, when you touch this hot stove, whatever, you kind of just like pull your finger away.
Because it's just so unnatural for like anything they see. Like, it's nothing in nature you could find that way. So they're just like, what the hell is it?
Yeah. Ends up after that, it goes to the shot of him with the boar, the monkey with the boar, the skeleton, the bones.
Right.
What happened to the monolith though? They never showed it again. It just disappeared. It wasn't in their tribe again. That was the thing that I was tripping out on. It was like, it didn't just stay there, so it just dipped out.
Yeah, that's I never thought about that. As far as what happened to it, I would assume that it disappeared and ended up on the moon. That's the next chapter that later, but that's just my thought.
Yeah, so I assume that's probably what actually happens, but like as just a first time viewer, you're just like, okay, what the fuck is this weird ass slab thing? And then it's just not there anymore, and then they just forget about it. Okay, but I mean, we can get into later why kind of it is what it is and what it does. But so basically, after the monolith disappears, it goes to this monkey, and he's rummaging through like the bones of like this dead boar, and he gets this big ass bone, and then he just realizes, he's like, what the fuck, this shit kind of heavy, it got some weight. And then he starts smacking shit, and he's like, oh bro, the game's changed. It's like when
Mhm.
humans first discovered the wheel, when they first figured out they could roll shit, and they're like, oh, this is the game changer. And so he ends up using that dead boar bone as a weapon. And it kind of ties into the leopards attacking them and shit, because now they have defenses. They can kind of defend themselves. They can get food, and this basically kickstarts the rest of their evolution, whatever. And so after that, he realizes, after he got that weapon on, he keep that thing on him for sure. And
The whole squad too.
yeah, he arms the whole squad with the weapons. And then they see another tribe of monkeys, and it's just gang war. And they're just like, hey bitch, this our turf, bro. Like back the fuck up before you get smacked the fuck up. And so he gets the bone, and then they just start fighting, but the other monkeys they ain't got no weapons.
Yeah.
So they just start beating on mans, and then all the other ones get scared, and they're like, oh hell no. And then that's kind of where it ends for that first part. And he throws up the bone in the air, and then that transfers into a shot of the spaceship. And it was kind of interesting shot. I don't know if you noticed that, but he throws up the bone, and it kind of goes directly. It goes horizontally right into like the shot of the spaceship. So it's like another evolution of like the bone going up in the sky, and then like boom, right now we're in space. Like that was the next step of human evolution. I thought it was kind of interesting. And that whole first part was like the dawn of man.
What did you what did you think was going through his mind when he threw up that bone? Because I personally, I took it. I'm not sure how to take it. Like at first I thought he was excited, but then I like rewound it and watched it, and like I wasn't sure if like he was like disappointed in himself, or just like some sense of shock, because like, okay, he's got this tool now and he got it to get back the watering hole, but he had to kill. And like I think that like that same type of parallel like runs throughout the movie.
Yeah, and you said that you mentioned that earlier, where it was like or well, in the offline conversation about how like at the cost of violence or whatever, they like they discover the monolith, and like they discover like it shows them other shit, and now they like know violence, and now they know like a bunch of other shit. It's just like they've evolved. Yeah, I think it's like a heavy thing just in life, where like you figure out, or the first time you see like something dead as like a kid, and you're just like, oh shit, like shit is real out here. And like it's kind of just like this thing where he just like realizing like his mind was open after that. And he's like, boom, like we just end this. And he just threw that shit up. He's like, it's on now. And I think that was like a mixed emotions probably. But I mean, they didn't even have language, so they're still pretty primitive, I assume. But yeah, he probably wasn't shocked. He probably was also just like, we going. But yeah, so that was the Dawn of Man. It goes into this spaceship after that. That whole beginning part, honestly, it's just a couple of thoughts on that. The shots were really weird. The transitions, it just like went black, and it was real quiet, and then it like went to the next one. I don't know, it kind of just threw me off a little bit. And like also it was it just lasted a little too long in my opinion, but it's whatever. So
no, yeah, it was very long, and like, I mean, what was that, like 20-30 minutes of no dialogue whatsoever?
Yeah, bro, it was like 30 minutes of these monkeys. I swear when I first watched it, I was like, what, like, am I watching the right movie? I thought I was watching something different. I was tripping. So after they go into space, and you're like, all right, boom, now we're Space Odyssey, we're here. And obviously it's the year 2001, I assume. And that so now you get it's just a bunch of shots of like spaceships and different space things, and you have a bunch of like classical music just playing in the background, and it's just different things, different shots of spaceships and stuff. One thing I was thinking about when I watched it, I don't know if you ever thought about this, but I was listening to podcasts with, I think, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he was just pointing out the fact that sometimes people make spaceships like in media and in movies, like they're all like designed to be like aerodynamic, but there's no fucking air in space, so it's like kind of stupid. Like why are you making spaceships that are like all like pointed and shit? Like you just make a fucking box and then like it'd be the same shit. But I just thought that was funny. But yeah, they had a bunch of different shots of like spaceships and stuff and just a bunch of musical stuff, or classical music in the background. um I've been listening to classical music more, just as a side note. It's kind of lit. Hey, there's this channel on YouTube called Halidon Music. Hey, check it out if you want some fire ass classical playlist. um After that, it shows a shot of Haywood Floyd, and he lands on Hilton Space Station.
It's been about 7 or 8 months since you were here last, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. It's very strange to see modern hotels up there.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, someone need to jump on that. The first hotel in space. That's kind of lit.
I think that's already like in production, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure. So Haywood Floyd lands on Hilton Space Station. You don't really know what's going on. He's kind of just walking around. Looks important. Sounds important. Ends up he's talking to some people. He stops to use a picture phone, as what they call it. Basically, it's just video chat. But in that year, 1968 or whatever, like man's created FaceTime. Like that's kind of wild. Like he was just video chatting with his daughter or whatever. And I don't know, it's kind of crazy. They didn't even have cell phones back then, bro. Like
apparently that was Kubrick's daughter.
Oh really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so he goes in there, he uses they call it the picture phone, and he's just video chatting. Just I guess his daughter's birthday, whatever, was like the next day, and he's like, nah, I'm in space, I'm on an important mission where I'm traveling. And so he ends up talking to these other people. They sit down and they're like, hey, oh, it's the Russians. Yeah, so they're like, hey, there's an epidemic. It's an epidemic going on. Nobody really knows what the fuck is happening, but it's on this station, the Clavius or whatever. And he's like, we need you to go check it out. Still, you don't really know who anybody is. You don't know Floyd's title, anything. Whatever. It's transferred. He's like, nah, I'm busy. He's like, he's kind of hesitant. He's like, I don't know if I want to do it. Whatever. It goes to a next shot where he's traveling. He goes to another space, little like board meeting, whatever. And it's a bunch of dudes just sitting around. They introduce him. You find out that Haywood Floyd is the president of the National Council of Astronautics, the NCA. I don't know, it's just what I took notes of. They start talking about that the epidemic is actually a cover story for something else. They really don't know what yet. Floyd is like, yeah, basically, they're like, we discovered something crazy. We don't know what to tell the people. We don't know what to tell other people at the other station. So we're just going to say there's an epidemic and just shit's going crazy over here, just so we can buy some time to create some type of cover story.
And to prepare a report to the council, recommending when and how the news should eventually be announced.
And they're like, all right. And he's like, so basically Floyd is there to gather info and he needs to submit a report to the rest of the council. And then eventually they're like, okay, now we're going to tell the public about what's really happening, once they can kind of just like figure out what to fucking say and what the fuck is going on.
Right.
So he ends up, after that, he takes another little space ride to the moon from the Clavius. They're just like eating sandwiches or whatever, just like space dialogue. Sandwiches gotten any better in space? You're like, it's all right. You got chicken, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter. So that's when you find out that the epidemic is a cover story for the monolith. Said monolith that was from the first part with the monkeys, with the apes. And basically this monolith is creating like big clouds, they said, big, and like creating this big magnetic field and this big magnetic energy.
When we first found it, we thought it might be an outcrop of magnetic rock. but all the geological evidence was against it. And not even a big nickel iron meteorite could produce a field as intense as this. So we decided to have a look.
We thought it might be the upper part of some buried structure, so we excavated out on all sides, but unfortunately we didn't find anything else.
And they're like, they don't really know what the fuck it was, but all they know is that they dug around it and they realized that it was deliberately buried there like 4 million years prior. So they're just like, we don't know what's going on, but someone fucking dug some shit and buried it on the moon. And what the fuck? We didn't do that shit, so someone else did. So they're saying it's the first sign of intelligent life. They end up getting on the moon. They go to the monolith. It's a big like dig site, and the monolith is just sitting there. You got this crazy ass fucking music in the background with these people like,
Yeah.
that shit is fucking weird. It's just a bunch of people humming and shit, and it's fucking weird. And my thing with that though is like, honestly, in my opinion, I would have just been like, okay, it's just like it's just another element that it's a space element, just like it's iron or something. And it's just like creating just a field, like it's nothing crazy. Like, in my opinion, I would have been like, it's just another rock that we've never discovered before. Like, it's nothing too crazy. But everybody's all freaked out. They try taking a picture next to it. As soon as they start taking a picture, the thing starts fucking screaming at him. And he's like, hell nah, bitch, you ain't taking a picture of me. And they start like covering their ears. It creates this like high ass pitch. And they're just like, what the fuck?
I think that scene with all the astronauts there looks really, really similar to how the apes kind of approached it for the first time.
A little bit. So I saw another opinion where like it was like they noticed that the apes were a little more hesitant and kind of seeing it as like a god figure maybe, because they don't really know. And whereas the humans, when they discovered it on the moon, they were trying to take a picture of it and stuff, and they were kind of claiming it more as like their own. And it was like, oh no, we discovered this, like this is our finding type of thing. So that's why the monolith wasn't really fucking with them, and they're like, hell nah, bitch, like you don't own us, we own you. And so yeah, I don't know, there's different opinions on that, but they definitely still were pretty wary, because they're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, this shit is weird. It does show the same shot of like looking up at the monolith, and then like the sun's right above it. So they showed that shot from the apes, and then it shows the same shot when it's with the humans on the moon.
Right. Yeah, I think that kind of I think there were kind of like a burglar alarm or something, you know. So once it's so it was there, and then it goes to the moon, and then once it's excavated and like the sun hits it, meaning that it's been unburied, then it sends that signal to Jupiter saying like, hey, the humans have gone have learned space travel, so maybe they could go all the way out to Jupiter. That's kind of how I took it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it probably was like that. Like, yeah, you're right. When it hit the sun, it was like, okay, like another mission, like, all right, it's time. Right after that, it just cuts to 18 months later, Jupiter mission.
Right, yeah. You just never find out what the hell happened there.
You don't know if they died or whatever the fuck, but just 18 months later, Jupiter mission. And now Floyd is no one else is mentioned from the previous part. Now it's David Bowman. It's Dave and his crew. And you're introduced to Dave, you're introduced to Hal, you're introduced to everybody on I think it was like the Discovery one or some bullshit it was called. I don't remember the name of their spaceship, but
yeah, Discovery.
David Bowman was a mission commander. He ends up he's sitting down, he's doing just a bunch of different like just like he's working out in space and shit, and he's just like just doing just regular shit, just eating, just watching news and shit. And you see people like sleeping in pods, and he's kind of just like he's just doing his thing. He ends up
they're hibernating in the pod.
Yeah, so the other crew members, you find out they're hibernating. He does an interview with Earth. Apparently they're 80 miles away, 80 million miles away from Earth. And they were mentioning how like the interview took them like 7 minutes just the delay like back and forth between their fucking answers and their questions. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, just like that's probably how it would be. It'd be fucking shitty to do an interview all the way in space. So yeah, they're just talking about his mission, whatever. They're supposed to go to Jupiter. It doesn't really give too much. It says he has a survey team of 3 other people. They were all put to hibernation. Some interesting facts about that. They said their heartbeats are 3 times a minute while they're in this hibernation mode.
Well, that's right. And the heart beats 3 times a minute. Body temperature is usually down to about 3 degrees centigrade.
So their heartbeat only 3 times every minute, every 60 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And they only breathe once every minute. I thought it was pretty wild. Because I was thinking like, hey, what would it be like to just be hibernating and shit? Like they just put you in like an induced, because it's not even like an induced coma, because it's more just like you gotta, it's even more extreme than that because you're in space and shit. Hal, you get introduced to Hal after this. He starts talking to Dave. He's like, Dave is drawing some shit, or he's drawing his crew members that are sleeping. And he's like, can you show me your drawings, Dave? And he's like, yeah, sure, Hal. He starts showing him his drawings. And then after that, Hal mentions to him that he has concerns about the mission. But he doesn't really say what. He just kind of says, like, he's like, don't you think it's weird that, like, oh, I know they got a video of me playing fucking basketball. Someone was spying on me earlier when I was getting to work. I was just, my bad. That's it. Someone sent me a text. That's why I have a video of me at the park earlier, fucking playing ball. So yeah, Hal's like, he's like, I have concerns about this mission. He's like, don't you think it's a little weird that 3 of the members were put to sleep like before we even took off, and like they had their own training like months prior and stuff? Like that's kind of weird. And also he mentions like how he says like they found that thing on the moon or whatever, but he doesn't really say what it was. And he's like, and people were kind of just like freaking out about it. He's like, I don't know, this whole mission seems a little weird. And Dave kind of he doesn't really say anything about it. He just kind of stays quiet. He's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
During the past few weeks, I've wondered whether you might be having some second thoughts about the mission.
How do you mean?
Well, it's rather difficult to define. Perhaps I'm just projecting my own concern about
it. He brings up, right after that, like Dave doesn't really give in too much to his thing. Then Hal brings up, oh, there's a satellite. He's like, wait, hold on. And he's like, satellite failure in AE 32 or whatever. And he's like, we have 72 hours before this complete failure of this part of the ship, whatever.
Just a moment. I've just picked up a fault in the AE-35 unit. It's going to go 100% failure within 72 hours.
And he's like, honestly, Hal's like, I think we need to go remove this thing and fix it. And so Dave, he's like, all right. So he gets in his pod, whatever. He's like, I'm gonna go do this. He does a spacewalk to go grab that part off of the other part of the spaceship so he can bring it back, check it out. He gets in his pod. Oh, bro. First of all, when I was watching this, Mans parks his pod, right? He parks his pod away from the ship, and then he floats there to the ship. And I was like, bruh, like this seems like the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. Like, Mans was not tethered. Why didn't he just park it on the ship? First of all, like they should have like a little place for like a little landing pad where you can fucking park your pod. Man parks his pod just floating in space and then floats to like a mile away to the fucking ship. I was like, this is stupid. You're not even tethered, bro. You're gonna fly off into space. But he succeeds, completes the mission, grabs a thing, ends up coming back. Him and Frank are like, bro, there's nothing wrong with this fucking part. That's weird. He's like, and Hal's like, oh, that is weird. And then they talk to mission control. Mission control is like, yeah, there's, I don't know what happened, but Hal gave you misinformation. He predicted that the thing would fail in 72 hours. Actually, it's not going to fail. The part is fine. Ship is fine. No problem. No worries. Apparently, they have another Hal twin, Hal 9000 twin at mission control. And they're basically giving him the same information at the same time. And they're like, yeah, this his twin, this Hal 9000 over here says there's nothing wrong, that his prediction error is false.
We should advise you, however, that our preliminary findings indicate that your onboard 90000 computer is in error predicting the fault. I say again, in error predicting the fault. I know this sounds rather incredible, but this conclusion is based on the results from our twin 90000 computer. We are skeptical ourselves, and we are running cross-checking routines to determine reliability of this conclusion.
So Hal's like, you know what, we're going to have to put it back and just let it fail. And if it doesn't fail, and doesn't fail, if it does, it does. We can bring it after that and decide what the issue is. Dave and Frank are like, okay, it's kind of weird. Like, Hal's being a little weird. So they try to go off and little secret party, have little secrets do not, what is it? Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone. They go into a pod and they're basically like, okay, we need to have a conversation about how. They start talking about turning off Hal. And but Mans turns around to Hal, to the camera, and starts fucking having a conversation. He was already turned around the opposite way. I don't know why they just didn't stay that way. Yeah. I mean, I guess they didn't think about it, but that was his error. So he turns back around and they're like right in front of Hal. Hal's staring at him and they're talking to each other and they're saying like, basically, Hal's on some weird shit. Mans has gone rogue. We need to turn him off. Like, we don't trust him. He's being weird as fuck. Hal ends up reading their lips and figures out, because he can't hear him because they turn off all the mics and shit, but he reads their lips and figures out their plan. And it shows a shot too of like him like zooming in on their lips, just talking. I thought that was pretty fucking creepy. Man, I don't even trust this camera right here. Fuck you, man. No, not you, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this fucking AI is a little bitch ass. Let's see.
I thought it was interesting that they decided to turn it off after one mistake.
Well, so that was the thing too. They were like, they asked him, they were like, has there ever been any history of your unit ever having a wrong prediction? Hal 9000 ever making a wrong prediction? And he's like, no. There's never been any problems or complications ever with the Hal 9000. It's perfect track record. So that's why they're like, that's fucking weird that he just like, he got that wrong. And even his twin at mission control is saying he's wrong too. He's like, that's fucking weird. They're like, this dude is being hella weird. And they did mention that Hal is like the sixth member of their ship. So like they do have like some type of like tie to him. So, or they have some type of emotional connection to him. And through this, he kind of is like an extra character. Like, it's hard to just see him as a robot, in my opinion, when I'm watching this, because he is so like prominent. But yeah, they're like, we're gonna turn this motherfucker off. Fuck this dude. Frank ends up going out to replace the failed unit that Dave brought back in. From there, same thing. Dude parks his pod out floating in space, floats to the ship, and then Hal takes control of his pod and flings that motherfucker out all the way in fucking just deep space. And now Mans is floating, and he cut his oxygen line. So now Mans is just floating out in space and pretty much dead. Like, you're dead within.
Yeah, we just see the pod approaching with the hands. We never see him fling him, but you just see through the window that he's just floating in space.
Yeah, and then you see the actual ship like go flying too. So like both the pod goes flying and and Frank goes flying too. And um basically Dave is like, what the fuck? He gets a notification that the pod is all fucked up. Frank is all fucked up. He doesn't even really, he just jumps into action. He doesn't even really like think about it too much, but he's seems real calm. He's like, okay, I'm gonna get another pod and I'm gonna go fucking save dude.
Yeah, doesn't grab his helmet.
And that was another thing too. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that when I first watched that shit until Mans brought it up later. But so while Dave is out there, he's basically flying through deep space to go pick up Frank, who's just floating. And while he's out there, Hal fucking kills the rest of the dudes sleeping.
Yeah, he turned off.
He just turns off all their fucking vitals and their fucking machines that are keeping them like alive during their hibernation. And this dude is just murdering everybody. This dude is a savage. He ends up saving Frank, comes back to confront the murder machine. He doesn't know he's a murder machine yet, but he's like, bro, you definitely killed my homie. He's like, Hal, open the bay doors. He's like, I can't do that, Dave. He's like, Hal, open the bay doors. They start arguing. He's like, sorry, Dave, this conversation has no more use. He says some bullshit like, there's no point of having this conversation anymore. Like, goodbye. And he just like hangs up on him.
Dave, this conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
So Dave is like, bro, I got to get back in the ship. He's like, fine, I'm gonna go through the manual airlock. And then Hal's like, he's like, yeah, I think you're gonna find that rather difficult though without your space helmet.
Right.
And Mans is like, fuck, which is kind of dumb. Like, I know he was in a hurry to go save his buddy and shit, and he was just focused on saving his buddy. But like, you think if you're gonna go in the pod, you should bring your fucking helmet just in case something happens. But whatever. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Mans ends up, he opens up the airlock. It's a very intense scene. I mean, I think all these like scenes in space where it's just quiet and he's just like operating machinery, like that shit's pretty like, I don't know, it's kind of mesmerizing. But he's opening the airlock, turns around his pod, faces it to the back, launches the emergency exit, blasts himself through the fucking into the airlock, hits his head on the door, flies backwards, grabs the fucking airlock thing, closes it, boom, he's back in. Survived. But he did have to let Frank go. Sorry, Frank. Frank, you're already dead though, so there's really no point. He was just trying to save your body for your family, but you're already gone like an hour ago. At this point, Dave is fucking heated, bro. He's pissed. I'd be pissed too. I was fucking pissed just watching that shit. And he doesn't even say nothing. And at this point, Hal's fucking scared. And he's like, Dave, wait, let's talk about this. Dave, wait, I'm sorry. I'll change. I know I was acting weird before, but like I promise I won't have any more blah 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 blah. Dave is just quiet through this whole thing. He doesn't say a word for like the next 20 minutes.
I know I've made some very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal.
he just goes in there, grabs the tools, goes into the emergency shutdown thing, starts turning the little keys, pulling out his little memory cards, and that's when Hal starts dying. And honestly, this part was kind of emotional for me. Not emotional, but just like it kind of hit me because like the whole time I was like, okay, yeah, he's part of their crew, whatever. But I don't know. It was like I was still pissed, but I still felt bad that he was turning dude off. And I was like, and even I think even Dave felt bad because Hal's like, I'm dying, Dave. Like I'm losing my mind. I can feel it going. And he's like, his voice is getting slower and slower, deeper and deeper each time he takes out one of his memory cards.
I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm afraid.
And so Hal starts dying. And I think Dave is a little sad too because Hal starts fucking up. He starts saying shit like back from his training days or whatever. And he's like, oh, my whatever teacher taught me a song. Do you want me to hear it? And Dave's like, yeah, sing me the song. And so he's like still like a little emotionally connected to Hal, even while he's killing him, even though he just killed all his friends. Although he does not know at this point that he murdered everybody while in their sleep. So it might have changed his mind a little bit if he knew that, oh, all these other 3 dudes are dead in their sleep. He didn't know that.
Just a side note that I read is Hal and IBM are one letter removed from like Hal, if you one alphabet letter removed is IBM.
Wait, is it? Hal, IBM? Oh, I guess it is. That's funny. HIBALM. That's funny. Damn. I don't know. That's why I got a Mac, bro. So Hal starts dying. Dave is pissed. He still feels bad. He's like, yeah, sing me the song. Daisy, Daisy, I'll love you, whatever. Something about a carriage. Dude starts dying. His voice gets all slow, like this. And then Hal's turned off. At the end of that, video starts playing of Floyd. And basically Floyd, it's this video where Floyd's like, hey, at this point, the video is meant to be played when they arrived in Jupiter, but it starts playing because Hal's dead, and I guess it's like his last protocol or whatever, just in case anything happened, this video would play. And this video starts playing to Floyd where he's like, hey, I gave instructions to Hal only. He already knew about all this stuff, but basically we found the monolith. It's the first sign of intelligent life, or that we think, and it's emitting this strong signal towards Jupiter. So that's where we're sending you to go figure out what the fuck it's signaling, or who it's signaling, or whatever the fuck. And that's when Dave kind of realizes, like, oh shit, it's probably a suicide mission, to be honest. Like, they probably weren't expecting dudes to come back.
Only by your HAL 9000 computer. Now that you are in Jupiter's space, and the entire crew is revived, it can be told to you. Except for a single, very powerful radio emission aimed at Jupiter, the 4-million-year-old black monolith has remained completely inert. Its origin and purpose still a total mystery.
Discovery, right after that, it's a shot of Jupiter, and I think it even transitions to like another subtext where it says like Jupiter and thereafter, or something like that. Discovery ends up making it to Jupiter. You see Jupiter coming up close. You also see the monolith floating. I don't know if it's the same monolith or if it's a different monolith, but
this one's bigger.
It's what?
Bigger.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
So you see the monolith floating. You see Dave. Dave is the only one at this point. Everybody else is dead.
Yeah.
So he has to fucking experience this all by himself. So he's kind of flying towards it. It's flying towards Jupiter at the same time. And then you just fucking acid trip after that. You see a bunch of fucking bright colors, and dude is basically I don't know if he's going through like multi-dimensional spaces, because you know how there's like obviously more dimensions than just the 3 that we perceive, or the 4 that we perceive. I think there's like a total of like upwards of 13 plus dimensions or some shit that they've discovered mathematically, obviously, because we can't perceive that shit, but we know they're there with math. So he starts getting transported. It's a big acid trip, all these different colors, like squeeze, like tight spaces, basically like planes, where he's like flying through these like flat planes of like colors and shit. Then it's just like also a close up of his eye, like his eye like that, and he's just blinking and
his face and everything.
Yeah, and oh yeah, he's like tripping out. He's like, and then because he's probably getting all fucked up by the gravity and shit. So yeah, I'm not really sure what was happening right there, if he was just being transported through different dimensions or if he was flying through Jupiter's atmosphere, because after that it does show shots of like canyons and stuff and like waters, and like it's still using those crazy colors. I assumed that he landed through Jupiter's atmosphere, and that was kind of like his Kubrick's envision of Jupiter, what it would be like. So it was like, yeah, this dude's like kind of flying through Jupiter, and kind of he saw like, it shows one shot of like this big empty like fucking hole, and it's all red. And I was like, bro, that's fucking hell. Like, man, it just got transported to hell, honestly. Different dimensions and shit. After that, wakes up from his acid trip in his ship, in his spacesuit, and he's in a bedroom. And him and his pod, it's like a 1-bedroom apartment. He got like a bathroom and shit, and then he's like walking around trying to figure out what it is. It's like just this empty, it's like a white room, just like a bed, chairs, a little bit of furniture. He ends up walking into another room, hears some noise, some clanking and shit, and it's an old man sitting there. Dude is eating. It's old Dave. Turns around, it's old Dave. Other Dave disappears. The old guy gets up. He's sitting there eating. He gets up. He looks at him. Looks at the camera. You see that it's Dave, but he's older. He's wearing a robe. He goes back to sit down. As soon as he sits down, he sees another fucking. Basically, it's him just aging, right? And he's like going, and he's going through all these different stages. And he's he's a man in the spaceship. He gets a little older, then he becomes an older man, and then he ends up on his deathbed. He's sitting in his bed, he's dying, and he's staring at the monolith while he's fucking.
Right.
The monolith is in his bedroom. And then he tries to touch the monolith. Monolith ends up turning him into baby Dave. And now he's a fetus in a womb and he's floating in space. That's how it ends. And yeah, shit is weird. So he's like this giant baby just floating in
Super
space.
baby.
He's just a super baby floating next to Earth. Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, I didn't really understand what was happening, but I assumed it was some type of the stages of life and shit. But you told me that there was an interview with him, and I did watch that interview or listen to it. So it's the one where he's talking to the Japanese dude, whatever, right? On the phone. Yeah, so he kind of explains, the dude asked him like, okay, so what's up with the ending? And he kind of explains it, and I'll probably just insert the fucking audio. It's not like a 2-minute clip, whatever, but I'll insert the audio right here.
Well, Japanese people love your films, especially Space Travel 2001.
Yeah.
And but people are wondering that what is the meaning of last scene? You know, the old man were, you know, lying on the bed and in a very old style house.
Yeah.
And could you give us an answer?
I've tried to avoid doing this ever since the picture came out, because when you just say the ideas, they sound foolish, whereas if they're dramatized, one feels it. But I'll try. I mean, the idea was supposed to be that he is taken in by godlike entities, creatures of pure energy and intelligence with no shape or form, and they put him in what I suppose you could describe as a human zoo, and to study him, and his whole life passes from that point on in that room, and he has no sense of time. It just seems to happen as it does in the film, and they choose this room, which is a very inaccurate replica of French architecture, deliberately so inaccurate, because one was suggesting that they had some idea of something that he might think was pretty, but weren't quite sure, just as we aren't quite sure what to do in zoos with animals to try to give them what we think is their natural environment. And anyway, when they get finished with him, as happens in so many myths of all cultures in the world, he is transformed into some kind of super being and sent back to Earth, transformed and made, into some sort of Superman, and we have to only guess what happens when he goes back. It is the pattern of a great deal of mythology, and that was what we were trying to suggest.
What was your interpretation of
that? Well, not word for word, but I think he says that essentially he's in this human zoo, so like the alien life forms kind of pick apart his memory and put him in a place that they feel a human would be comfortable. So like, like how humans will put a tiger in a cage and we'll put like a fake tree in there.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what that room is. And they observe him and send him back as a higher being, essentially.
Why would they why observe him though, if they already like have been observing the rest of the humans though? I wonder why they kind of singled in on him and actually like let him survive in this room, or why they would want us to keep studying him. They could have studied a bunch of other people, no?
Well, he made it there.
That's true. He was the only one to make it there. So like maybe they thought like, oh, this dude's like, he's like legit, like he can do some shit that they can't.
Yeah, no, he's the representative for the humankind.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, so basically,
I'm not even sure if that whole time in the bedroom is supposed to be like his whole life, or is it really just the amount of time like in the movie? Like, is it only a matter of minutes? Because what I was taking away from it was every time, so he's like in the restroom as astronaut Dave, and he hears something, and it's older Dave sitting there, and it's like this weird continuation of he sees the older Dave, and then older Dave turns around to look at younger Dave, but then older Dave sees another older Dave, so he keeps looking for this noise that he's hearing. It's just an older version of himself until he's on his deathbed.
Yeah, so he goes back to eating, and then he drops a glass, and then as soon as he picks up the glass, he like looks towards the bed, and then now he sees an older version, Dave 3, and he's on his deathbed just sitting there, and then that's when he's staring at the monolith. So yeah, it's like these little cues of like him like looking away and looking into an older version of himself. So yeah, I don't know if it was like how long it was, or if it was supposed to be in a span of like live like minutes, or like 2 minutes, or if it was actually like years and years and years. I'm not really sure. I suppose if you're alien life form, alien intelligent life beings, or whatever the fuck I'm trying to say, like maybe they perceive time and shit differently. So I don't know. I really don't know. That's, I guess, up into interpretation. And that's kind of what Kubrick does with his films. He kind of does leave shit up to interpretation.
Yeah, and I think that's like purposeful, because like if there is really a alien life form that is smart enough to get down here and have these monoliths, it's nothing that we would be able to understand. So like these black monoliths, in the same way in the movie, and even the viewer like us, we have no idea what they do. I think that's definitely on purpose, because we just don't know anything about it. We don't know what the monolith does. We don't even know if it like passes on knowledge, or if it's just there, or if it like sparks like a consciousness type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's just purposeful, as far as like how little we would actually know of like an alien form coming down here.
So I was reading some other shit. Apparently this was kind of made in line with an author named Arthur C. Clarke, and he wrote these stories. It's kind of up to, nobody really knows who started writing what. Some people say Arthur was writing the books first, and then Kubrick based the movie off his book called The Sentinel. And like if you read the Arthur C. Clarke The Sentinel, it goes more into detail. It's kind of like very similar to the story, just goes more into detail of like what his, I don't know, he explains it more. But they don't really know. They said they were making it at the same time. They kind of just deviated at the end. But I did find this other thing at the end. So there was another interview, and someone posted this, and it was basically, the question was, the final scenes of the film seem more metaphorical than realistic. Will you discuss them, or would that be part of the roadmap you're trying to avoid? Kubrick goes, no, I don't mind discussing it on the lowest level. That is straightforward explanation of the plot. You begin with an artifact left on Earth 4 million years ago by extraterrestrial explorers who observed the behavior of the man of apes at the time, decided to influence their evolutionary progression. Then you have the second artifact buried deeper in the lunar surface, programmed to signal word of man's first baby steps into the universe, a kind of cosmic burglar alarm. Finally, there's a third artifact placed in orbit around Jupiter and waiting for the time when man has reached the outer rim of his own solar system. When surviving astronaut Bowman ultimately reaches Jupiter, the artifact sweeps him into a force field or stargate, hurls him into a journey through inner and outer space, finally transports him to another part of the galaxy, where he's placed in a human zoo, approximating a hospital terrestrial environment drawn out of his own dreams and imagination. In a timeless state, his life passes from the middle age to senescence to death. He is reborn an enhanced being, a star child, an angel, a Superman, if you like, and returns to Earth prepared for the next leap forward of man's evolutionary destiny. This is what happens on the film's simplest level, since an encounter with an advanced interstellar intelligence would be incomprehensible within our own present earthbound frames of reference. Reactions to elements, philosophy, metaphysics have nothing to do with the bare plot outline stuff. Yeah, so basically, like, yeah, so he starts off and it kind of, each time they see the monolith in this movie, it progresses evolution. And at the end, now you have this Superman or this star baby, and now star baby is going to go back to Earth and be the catalyst for the next progression of mankind. So
right, it's in that now you just read this. Interesting that they just said that the monolith is there to influence. So it's still like unclear as to what the monolith actually does. Because like in a way, like the monolith for the monkeys maybe didn't even really, it's not like a magical touch where they like touch it and all of a sudden they're more intelligent. It could just be the simple fact that they're seeing something that has like squared off edges and realizing that there's more to life than just the nature that's outside, and then he kind of is inspired to pick up the bone. You know, it could be a simple, or it could just be like it shot some knowledge in their consciousness.
That's I do think it was kind of, I do like the idea of like he sees something that's from out of this world, and then from there he starts thinking out of the box. I think that's right. I think that's a cool interpretation. I like that too. The alien thing could be cool too, or just shoot some knowledge in him. He's like, oh bro, now I know how to kill people. But yeah, shit was a trip. I don't know. What do you think? Better than Interstellar? Nah, Interstellar is one of my favorite movies. I was kind of comparing it to Interstellar, but
there's just so much different. Like Interstellar is definitely like a what they call blockbuster type of deal. This is, I guess when it first came out, like it just didn't, a lot of the critics, not very good reviews, and I think it's kind of to the very beginning of the discussion, we were talking about like the characters and character development, and there really was no character development. You never get any emotional attachment, and I think that the entire character development is just supposed to be the humankind.
Mankind.
Mankind or whatever. It was kind of refreshing, because usually you get used to these movies where there's like one character and you get all attached. It was kind of cool.
Usually movies don't make me think that much, but I was kind of just sitting there at the end and just kind of like, okay, I kind of get it. And I was like thinking about a lot of different shit. And and the fact that it's still like making people like ponder shit like 40 years later after it was fucking made is kind of crazy. Like that's kind of goated, low key. But yeah, the movie's dope. A couple of things I did want to add. The score. I mean, I'm a music guy. You're a music guy too. You work for UMG. Can I say that, or is that edited out? We're both gonna take over the music scene eventually. We gonna be in there. But the score, like I said, I've been listening to a lot more classical music. Shit was kind of lit. I think the thing they did with that was when you're in space, you kind of have, you don't want it to be completely silent. It's in space, it is silent. So he needed to add something. I think what I got from it was he had a lot of this classical music like Jabosky and stuff, where it's like very like and it's very like floaty, and everything's very like like when you're dancing to this classical music, you're like swaying and like very floaty. And in space, everything's kind of like very floaty and like very slow. And like, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of how I took it. So I was like, oh, it's kind of perfect fit. We're like adding in this classical music. I thought the score was lit. I thought it was cool. It wasn't really too much music or anything, but kind of eerie. Some of those sounds and shit. Also, yeah, all in all, it was pretty good. I would say, what do you think? Let's rank. What about the villain? Who's the villain of this story? Who's the hero? Who's the hero of this story? It has to be Dave, right? Dave is like the main character. He's like the main hero of the story. But there's really no hero. He kind of just shit happens to him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the hero would just be the black monolith if they're progressing humankind.
That's true too. I didn't even think of that. That is kind of true. Yeah, shout out to the monolith, fucking being the homie.
Yeah.
Do you think the monolith itself was an alien, or do you think that was like it's like a ship or one of their tools, one of their alien tools?
See, that's where just like what you were reading earlier, where it's just like I have no idea because I don't understand that. Like as a human, like I don't like who I have no idea. It's some sort of intelligent form. I don't know if it's like a vessel or an actual being. I'm gonna go ahead and say the villain is technology. I think I think that's kind of like a theme there. Like he gets the bone that's like a technological advance, but he has to kill someone. And then Hal is just like too smart, and I think he kills off all the other humans because he realizes he could do this shit on himself by himself.
Yeah.
And doesn't need them. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Hal's probably the bad guy of this movie, and technology and stuff. Like you said, with the tools and shit. Which is kind of a scary thing to think, considering we keep developing with our tech every year, more and more and more. Eventually, either Terminator's gonna come true or fucking iRobot's gonna come true. One of those fucking movies where we have to fucking fight AI and shit. But
it's funny, like he got a lot of things right with like predicting the future and everything. The one thing that he didn't was like, I don't think anyone really thought that as technology advances, like our devices get smaller. Like for them, like everything would get bigger. Like they have like a telephone room, like like the booth that they used to have, but for computers and everything instead of like the iPhones, obviously, that we have now. It's kind of weird.
I thought it was funny too, because like he was like screaming at it too, and like that's kind of like an old man thing to do when you're like talking on the speakerphone and like you don't really know how to use it, but you're like yelling at it. You're like, and it's like, bro, relax. You can just talk like close to it and like they can hear you. So it was like they don't really know how to act that out because they didn't really have video chat. So he was like yelling at his TV basically. Right. But I thought it was kind of funny.
How cool was the shot of that one space shuttle that they had that was rotating to like mimic gravity, and he was running. Yeah, I thought that was like super cool. But like,
and they were like, I was thinking of that too. I was like, it's crazy to think there's no fucking frame of reference of like up and down on that fucking ship. They were just like walking on the ceiling and shit, and it was just like, but that's not the ceiling to them. That's like they're just walking. Like it's just weird. It's just fucking weird. But they were just like going up. There was like no point of reference for like up and down. It's just they were just a point in space, and that's how it is in space. Like you're just a point in space. You can go any direction. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, I guess the villain is Hal, technology. I would say that's number one if we were gonna rank them. The hero is the monolith. That's true. I didn't even think of that. I was gonna say Dave was the hero, but yeah, it kind of is the monolith. I fuck with him. He's the number one since it's the first one we've done.
I saw a lot of I don't really buy this theory, but a lot of theories, I think it's just from horny dudes.
What they say?
They're just like, this is all about like sex. Like
what?
Like Yeah, or like reproduction or something like that. Like the space shuttle is like in the shape of the sperm and like shit
Nah,
like
nah.
yeah. No. I wasn't like bonk. You guys are too horny.
Yeah, those are the space nerds that watch this movie. Hey, go back to Star Wars, you fucking nerd. No, I'm just kidding. Go back to Star Trek, you fucking nerd. Nah. Yeah, it was cool. I don't know. What would you? I mean, I guess if we were gonna rank them, like this would be number one because it's the only one we've reviewed. But out of what do you do out of 10? What would you say?
I guess one overall one. I'm gonna do shit. That's really hard. I'm gonna do. Can we do decimals or do we have
Yeah, you can do
to?
decimal. You can do decimal.
All right. Because I don't want to give it a full 9, but I'll do like an 8.9.
Okay, it's close. I was gonna say yeah, like an 8.5.
Yeah,
It's pretty good. 8.5, 8 to 9. Yeah, it was pretty good. I think there was, like I said, there's a couple things that like some of the shots in the beginning, I think, just transition weird. I don't know, it just went fade to black and then it just showed them something else. It's a couple of things I think they missed out on. Like what happened to the monolith. I don't know, they didn't really explain that. It was
So what? A little fact there that I read was when he throws the bone up and then you see the space shuttle, it's actually not a space shuttle. It's like a nuclear weapon.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Another weapon of mass destruction, as you would say. God damn, man. Yeah,
Russians, dude.
the fucking Russians. Man, I stand with Ukraine 100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
shit.
a political podcast.
Hey, but like, okay. Yeah. No.
Hey, but we can get into that.
No, 100%. Hey, I got a couple more topics before we go.
Before we switch to the other topics, I just wanted to from both of us a list of potential next movies.
So okay,
I have one in mind, so I just wanted to hear from you.
I'm down for anything. I was gonna say if we were gonna rank them, like if you want to do Kubrick movies, we could do either the next one, the 2010, like the second sequel to this.
I did watch it, but it's not a Kubrick film.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, is it good?
Not really.
Okay, then no.
You get some answers.
I think all I saw that was that Floyd comes back and he's like the main character, I think. But I don't know.
No. Oh wait, do you say Floyd? I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought you were saying the dude who died.
No. Floyd.
Yeah, he is the main character. But essentially, just like really, really short. I don't want to take too much time for this one. It's just like Hal is programmed to lie, so that's why he gets like in this weird. He gets conflicted what to do, so he ends up killing them to do it on his own. Because he was programmed by Floyd to lie to Dave.
Yeah.
About the truth of their mission because Hal knew the whole time. Apparently.
Yeah. Well, he was gonna tell him eventually at the end once they got to Jupiter. So he wasn't really lying. He was more just withholding information. But yeah, Hal knew the whole time, and that's why Hal kind of like freaked out. Like, yeah, I guess that's true. Like Hal didn't really know what to do. He felt conflicted because like he did kind of, in my opinion, I think he did have some type of consciousness because he even said like, hey, I'm having doubts. Like he was using very like strict, specific terminology that like only humans would use. Like, I'm having doubts about this mission, I'm having concerns. And it's like robots don't really have concerns unless, I mean, maybe if they're analyzing it and like they're doing it by numbers, I suppose. But he seemed like he was very conscious. Like maybe they advanced that far with their technology where like they can create some type of like sentience within their tech. But
but no, it's a different film. It's more of like a blockbuster type of film, even though it didn't really do well, but it's nowhere near like the artistry of 2001 for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say like, yeah, if we were gonna stick with the Kubrick films, we can go The Shining or something. Or if you wanted to go, something completely different, I don't know, I'm down for whatever. Batman's good, man.
What was that?
Batman's good.
Batman is good.
Are you-
There is a one low-key film that I would like to throw out that eventually maybe we can get into, because I watched it a while ago and it was just another really thought-provoking film. It was Happy as Lazaro.
Oh, I never even heard of that.
Yeah, no, it's an Italian film, so it's all subtitled.
Oh, what the hell? What is this? Like it.
I sent it in the chat here.
Yeah, I don't know. We could talk about it. We could figure out
Yeah.
Happy as Lazaro. We could figure it out. See what you want to do. I'm down
But there
for
are a
whatever.
lot of Kubrick films that I haven't seen. I was thinking about doing Clockwork, but I never did it. How Do I Shut's kind of a horny movie. I'd be down for The Shining though.
Yeah, dude, I'm down. I'm down for whatever. Happy as Lazaro. Okay, so another topic. Let's jump into some other topics real quick. Just before we head off. Some celebrity culture. What do you think about that slap? I know, but like it just happened like 2 days ago. Like, what do you think of that slap?
Let's see.
All right. Do you think it was staged?
No, I don't.
Bro, he actually slapped the shit out of him. High key.
He did.
But, yeah, he 100% slapped him. But it was weird, dude. He was like leaning in and shit. And if you see someone coming up to you on stage after like he just like, usually people like step back and they're like,
I just don't think anywhere in his thought process that would happen. That I feel like he thought he would come up there, make a joke, grab the mic or something, like or on ABC or whatever the fuck channel it is. And you're Will Smith, you're just gonna slap me? What the fuck?
Yeah. No, he slapped the shit out of him. That was a real slap, 100%.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess to Chris's credit, like he did carry on. People were like, oh, people were like, oh, like he took that so well. I'm just like, dude, I don't know. Like he got slapped.
Hey, would you throw hands with Will, or what would you do? Bro, okay, the thing is too, like Will Smith is he's a bigger name. He's like a bigger artist. So like, and I feel like he has more pull than Chris Rock does. So like if you try to like do something, and people are gonna take Will's side, especially because he was the one making the joke too. So Chris was kind of in a lose-lose situation. Like he had to just take the slap and just keep going.
It's physically too. Will's just a lot bigger. There's just no way Chris is gonna do anything to Will. I mean, Will played Muhammad Ali. Like, come on.
Yeah, he's West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Yeah.
And he's a chronic slapper, bro. He slapped that one dude on the red carpet that one time, remember? When he tried to kiss him.
Me like that?
He slapped that dude. Bro, yo, I don't know.
I didn't think about that until a couple days later. I was like, wait, Will's done this before.
Yeah, he definitely slapped people before. Nah, he felt very comfortable slapping that dude.
Yeah,
that shit was
walked back and then to his seat and then just won the Oscar.
That's facts. Yeah, I know a lot of people coming out now and saying like they're trying to take sides with Chris Rock and stuff, and they're like, even Jim Carrey was like, oh, I would have sued him like for 200 million or whatever. Like that stuff's on camera forever.
Yeah,
it's like, bro,
people are like, he should be arrested. Like, what?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Like, they're all friends. They're all
arrested
friends.
For a slap? Come on.
That shit was funny. He's like, dude, it was a G.I. Jane joke. Like, relax. And he's all, don't keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. And it was like, bro,
cry.
Bro, that shit was wild. He was 100%. That was one of those moments when you feel the heat start boiling up, and you just let it go. Like you let the emotion.
That big knot in his throat.
Yeah, 100%. And he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just let it go."
I think it's just like all the shit that's been going on with them.
100%. And
that was it.
And he knew, like, all right, like I can get away with slapping Chris Rock. Like it's gonna be like there's like if that joke was told by somebody else, like The Rock, like he's not slapping The Rock, bro. He's not slap. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Chris Rock. I can get away with slapping dude. But yeah, I mean Chris Rock's sales went up for his fucking tour, so that's good for him. And ratings for the Oscars were probably one of the highest it's been in years. So, or at least after views or whatever the fuck on their YouTube or something. But,
his speech afterward was funny. He's like, I want to be a vessel of love.
Like
20 minutes ago.
You
slapped the shit out of him.
Yeah, you can say all that. It's good to say all that shit after you just fucking slap this dude on live TV. Oh, that's fucking funny, dude. I was cracking up. Yeah, fucking internet blew up though. And that's all I was seeing. The memes are pretty funny though.
Yeah. I mean,
it was like
he laughed at first. Everyone's like, "Oh, he was laughing at first." But like you could see Jada's face.
Yeah.
And, like Will's just.
Yeah. I saw this meme. It was like regular workers, whatever. And it was like, hey, we want better pay and better hours and stuff. And then it was like free pizza party with the slap. And it was like, nah, you just get free pizza. But yeah, the memes are pretty hilarious.
It's crazy how like everybody has to like take a side of it too. Like there's just some like a lot of people like on Twitter or whatever, they're just like, Will did the right thing, like, oh, he should be arrested. Like, dude, it's always in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah, bro, they've all been friends. They're all their own peers. Like they're all fucking like you can't arrest dude. Like, come on, that would have been whack if Chris Rock sued him and shit and tried to get him arrested.
Well, if it was a different person, I think he would have.
Yeah, I'm sure. But like I said, he knew he could get away with that slap on Chris, so so it was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. But yeah, that was definitely Oscars to remember. That was something else. That shit was fucking all over the internet. I was like, this shit is crazy. I can't believe that actually happened. I think a lot of people think the same thing. But
did you think it was fake at first?
I was like, it looks a little weird. Yeah, I thought it was like a joke, like they're like a prank, whatever. But once I heard him screaming and I saw his face, I was like, oh, he's really mad. Like, dude is really pissed off.
And then the who's the actress in the background? She's from Lupita, I think, right?
I don't know.
The one from not Get Out, but the other short.
It was Us, right? Yeah. I haven't seen that movie, so I don't know. But,
yeah, like her face behind him is pretty funny. She's just like, oh shit, like she's going off right now.
Yeah. At first she like didn't know if it was real too, and she was like, oh, okay.
It's weird how all the audience was like laughing too.
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
It was like the nervous laugh, you know, like when people do, they're like, oh shit.
Fuck, man. He said, well, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. That's probably the greatest moment in live TV ever. She was crazy. All right, so another topic that I wanted to bring up, bro. I wake up and I just listen to music sometimes, like while I'm just waking up. I was trying to listen to Doggy Style and The Chronic, and that shit is not anywhere on the internet, bro. You can't find The Chronic or any of the Death Row records on the internet right now, and I was pissed, bro. I was pissed because, like, first of all, that shit came out before we were even born. But like, so that shit is not, it's not his anymore. It's ours. It's the culture's. How am I supposed to listen anywhere? You can't find it anywhere, bro. Snoop Dogg bought Death Row.
Is he like turning into like an NFT or some shit?
He's turning it into an NFT label, whatever the fuck that means. I don't even know what that means. I'm not even sure he knows what that means, to be honest. But whatever. We're making money, I suppose. But the fact that I was just listening to Doggy Style like 2 weeks ago or some shit 3 weeks ago, and now I can't get it anywhere. I can't get it anywhere online. We're going to an all digital world, and I can't listen to this album digitally at all. The only thing I can do is listen to a CD or a vinyl. Bro, I was pissed. The only thing that saved me was the fact that All Eyes on Me is still on. It was still on there, bro. If they would have took out Pac, I would I would have done some shit.
So all the Death Row albums are gone?
All the ones that he owns, yes. All the ones that he owns now are gone. You can't get Dog Food anymore, which is another great album from the Dog Pound. You can't get one of Corrupt's albums. You can't get the Chronic one, and you can't get Doggy Style, and probably a couple others. You can't get them anywhere. So I even went to his site. I even went to Snoop Dogg's fucking Death Row site. You can't even get that shit. You can't even buy it there.
Shit, yeah. I mean, I'm on Spotify right now, and everything's blacked out with the exception of like Ice Cube.
Yeah. You can only listen to like Ice Cube and fucking
Tupac's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of Snoop Dogg stuff is gone. That's crazy.
Bro, I was heated. I woke up and I was like, this is not yours anymore, Snoop. I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, this is the cultures. This has been in our society before I was even born, bro. Like, I grew up with these songs. I was heated that I could not listen to that shit. And like, I go to the gym and I listen to that shit. I go to everywhere and I listen to Chronic and Doggy Style.
Yeah, I'm probably going through the whole discography and everything. So I wonder what the end game is. Is it just like you just want the fat one lump sum check and he's not happy with the royalties or however that is?
I mean, he's probably trying to do what Kanye's doing with the whole STEM player, and he like wants to get everything back coming to him. But just put it on your website then. Put it on your website digitally and make some type of streaming platform where I can buy it from you if that's what you want to do. But the fact that I can't get it,
you would subscribe to a
Death Row streaming site.
Yeah, essentially like a title.
Yeah, it'd be Death Row streaming, Death Row music. I don't know,
yeah,
but
you get the album when you sign up at Boost Mobile or T-Mobile.
I don't know, bro, but just put it on the fucking internet, Snoop, and let me listen to it. Because the fact that I
didn't even know that happened.
I didn't either. I was just listening to Doggy Style. I woke up pissed, bro. Because I was jamming out to Linkin Park. All right. I was singing some Linkin Park, some nice acoustic shit, some sad shit. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna change my mood. I'm gonna listen to some Chronic, some Doggy Style. And for some reason it wasn't there. And it said apparently everybody's kind of he's roasting him on Twitter too. And they're like, what the fuck, Snoop? Like what's going on here? Why can't we listen to any of this music?
Did you read any of the articles?
Yeah, it was just saying the same shit where like he bought Death Row and now he wants to turn it into an NFT label. But I don't know what the fuck that means. What does that mean?
In
the metaverse?
Transforming an NFT label operating in the metaverse. Fans were perplexed this weekend.
Bro, I was pissed. I was so pissed. Like, you don't understand. If Pac would be rolling in his grave right now, bro. Pac would be rolling in his grave if he saw this shit. I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck, bro? We're going into an all digital space and I can't listen to these songs digitally. The only thing he's done, apparently he put a playlist, a super mix of a bunch of Death Row songs where you can listen to a lot of these songs, but it's like on this website called, it's another NFT site called Sound XYZ or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, I'm reading that article right now.
And
here, I'll oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the article in front of me, but
it says the legendary rapper has outlined the big plans he has for his previous label home, including taking it into the multiverse and transforming it into an NFT fixture. The terms of the deal disclose which projects won't be under the iconic West Coast hip hop brand. Okay, blah, blah, blah. On Monday, March 14th, Snoop released Death Row Mix Volume 1, that's what you're saying, for sale as NFTs on the new Web3 music startup Sound XYZ, describing it as a nearly half-hour DJ mix of, quote, some bits and pieces from my friends and family for you to enjoy, even a couple of minutes for you to throw your own verse in there. Okay.
I don't know what any of that means, but he put up a super mix of a bunch of Death Row songs where you can listen to them, but it's only on that platform. It's fucking, the whole thing is weird, bro. Look,
it's a scam. It's a scam.
It is a scam.
Anything that's like this complicated to me just like screams scam. Like, I don't know, a Web3, is that's supposed to be like internet 2.0 or something?
Yeah. Web3 is not even here yet. We're getting there, but it's not here yet. But like, you work for UMG, bro. Like, what's going on? When is this coming back to Apple Music? That's what I want to know, so I can listen to Doggy Style.
I had no idea it was gone.
He's like, I didn't even know this was a thing right now. Yeah, bro, I was pissed. I woke up pissed. But hey, drop it like it's hot. Whatever. I don't know what to say. Snoop,
he bought all his masters?
Yeah, which is dope. Like, the fact that Snoop came back and bought Death Row. He bought it from E1. I think E1 had it. And he maintained he got all the rights and a lot of the masters. But yeah, apparently there is some shit where somebody's saying that he doesn't have the Chronic rights, but some say he does. I don't know. 2001 is still on there. You can still listen to 2001, but shit is fucking weird, dude. I don't know. I was just pissed the fact that I can't listen to Doggy Style or the Chronic or Dog Food for that matter. But
that song's not on there anymore then.
No, bro, I can't listen to anything. I can't listen to Gin and Juice. I can't listen to It Ain't Fun. The homies can't get none, have none. I can't listen to Murder Was a Case. I can't listen to Serial Killer, Stranded on Death Row. Bro, come on, man. 1, 2, 3 into the folks. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre's out the door. I'm pissed.
Snoop, what you doing?
I don't know, Uncle Snoop, but put that shit back online, or else, we getting the internet squad, the army squad, and we coming. No bull, hey, no bull, Snoop. Put that shit back online, OG. Put that shit back online. But
I didn't know it was gone, but it should be back on there.
Hey, can we get some interview? Can you hook up some interviews with like some higher ups over there at your company? That would be lit, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just like behind the scenes people that like people probably don't even know about, but like are important to like the music industry, since we are both music guys.
Yeah, maybe some. I have to look into that.
Yeah, like no, honestly, on some real shit though. I think people do like they're interested in learning new shit and like seeing like some of the stuff that kind of goes into the music industry that people don't really know that goes on, like just even some of the small normal shit, everyday shit that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we just had like because our company does a thing where like some departments that are like really on the frontier for like this whole music stuff, they give a little presentation of what they're doing, and some of the stuff is like, in a way, it's pretty scary. Like, basically this whole presentation we had was them putting together models of how to predict which videos on TikTok go viral.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, this is scary and fucked up.
Yeah, that's literally how this started. Yeah, so we're gonna have Hell 9000 soon.
He's gonna kill us.
I say sorry, Dave. Sorry, Paul.
Can't do it. Can't open the gate.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's sports shit, but nothing too crazy. Go St. Peter's, go Cox.
They're out.
Oh, what? When did that happen? Hey, that's
this weekend.
Oh shit, I didn't watch those games. Hey, but still, that was a good run.
Dougie Dirt.
Who's in the Final Four?
Duke versus UNC this weekend.
Okay.
For Coach K and his last season.
Yeah.
And Kansas and Villanova.
Okay. Well, other than that, Memphis looks good, bro. Memphis looking strong.
Go away.
Memphis, the Grizzlies look good, dude.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's kind of crazy. They're balling out without Ja.
I know they're hungry too.
Yeah, for sure. Predictions on West, East and West.
Anybody but the Suns.
Anybody but the Suns?
Yeah.
You think we'll win?
Oh, that I want.
Oh, anybody but the Suns.
I just feel like
you're a D-Book fan. That's your boy.
I just feel like they move around in an arrogant way that they haven't really deserved.
100%, bro. Like
I'm
not gonna
won something already.
I'm not gonna say any names. Like they're decent, but yeah, the way they move and shit, like kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like some of their players are all right, but I feel you. I don't know if that's also the thing going on. Like, because I feel like they have been kind of getting shorted in like media. Like a lot of the big media don't really hype up the Suns, even though they have the best record and shit. And like, but like I don't know if it is kind of they have the same feeling. Like, all right, they haven't really done anything yet, and we've all been kind of skeptical of Phoenix. Like they haven't really proved anything, so it's like, why are we gonna hype them up? But I don't know. We'll see. Memphis looking strong, and I think
they do.
On the East. I think Milwaukee will still pull through.
Yeah, Milwaukee looks really good. They just beat Philadelphia tonight, but I don't know. Kyrie can play home games now.
Nets are the Clippers of the East, bro.
Nets are literally the Kyrie.
I do. Kyrie's my boy, but like it's not their year. It's not their year.
Oh no, man.
It's not their year. No, I was tripping because the Nets are literally like the East version of the Clippers. Have you realized that? They both have like good players, really good players that don't really play that much or haven't been playing. They're both like the smaller team in their city, like LA's smaller version of the Lakers. The Nets are the smaller version of the Knicks. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like they do, and they're both the 8th seed. They're both the 8th seed as well. So it's like, it's kind of trippy how like the Nets and the Clippers are kind of like the same thing right now, but they're just East and West Coast versions. I don't know. Football, we'll see. I was hyped for football, but we'll see what happens. Sean Watson's in the Browns. Baker's has nowhere to go.
Who?
Baker Mayfield. He has nowhere to go.
I know he might play for that Hulu team.
The what? Oh my God, the Hulu team. All right, that's where we're ending the pod. No, hey, no bullshit, but yeah, I had some other shit. I don't know. You have any topics you want to bring up? Are you good? Doja Cat quitting music. Oh, is that a big thing?
She's showing feet on the Rachel chat.
She did. Hey, bro, I'm gonna say this about Doja. Like people will fuck with you. You're talented. Hey, you're talented. You gonna say? Nah, you're talented, but like, just shut the fuck up and do your shit, bro. Like, you're already there. She's like, oh, I want to quit because this whole concert thing in Paraguay, and it's like, bro, you're already there. All the hard work is being done for you. All you have to do is just show up. You don't have to fucking do anything else. Just shut up and just do it. You're not gonna quit.
I heard a wild take the other day, from Garrett.
What did he say?
He said the Doja Cat album is better than the Kanye album.
What? The Donda 1 or 2?
Bro, no one I know has Donda 2.
No, oh yeah, my bad. I thought you was connected.
Yeah, I don't have the, what is it called? The Smart Play?
Hey, I'll send you some links. I thought you was Illuminati.
I gotta get off FrostWire.
Hey man, keep it cool.
Probably don't even know about FrostWire.
Hey, chill. I don't. FrostWire and LimeWire is too old. I'm one of them Gen Zers. What? No, I'm just like nah. But yeah, that's it. Hey Doja, you're not quitting music, bro. Just you're gonna come back and you're just whatever. Just stop complaining. That's my thing. It's like, I'm doing this shit. A lot of people are doing this shit independently, and it's a lot harder. And like when you have a system behind you, like just do it. Just show up. You're gonna show up. Like, I don't want to hear this. I guess that was my take. Other than that, I don't really know. We'll come up with some more topics. if you have something you need to get off your chest. No bull. Here it is.
About on a different day we could do Putin.
Do what? Putin? I'm down. You're the one that was dating a Russian chick, so yeah, you're the one that almost married a Russian chick, so you was going to Russian spas and shit.
I found out it was KGB.
Oh my god. All right, we out of here. Man, you need to get off the internet, bro. This shit is fucked up. Nah, this some Maury Jerry Springer shit over there. Nah, man.
Maury is gone.
Oh yeah, Maury's being canceled finally. Or not like canceled, but like it's ending after fucking 50 years.
Great run. That was a great show.
Honestly, that shit was fucking fucked up. You are not the father.
I know, dudes would go crazy, just happy.
100%, bro. What do you mean? How would you react? Fuck that. Especially with some chick that's trying to put you on TV. Fuck that. All right, man. No bullshit. Episode 1. I fuck with it. I'm gonna add in some clips and stuff too to make it a little more.
I'll probably outro song too.
Oh, I was just gonna play one of my songs.
Oh, there you go.
Chill. Hey, you listen to my music or what? I don't even think you.
EP.
Hey. That one got a decent amount of views. That one hit like 18 or 20, 26K, I think. Just on platforms? Just on YouTube, like 50K total with like streams and stuff. Yeah. So hopefully I get hit 100K at the end of this year.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm trying to go on like little baby steps, and like then hopefully after 100K I'll hit 250K or maybe shit 500K.
Stream Rose EP.
Hey, Stream Rose EP. Hey, Daddy P17. Hey, music's getting better too.
It's not gonna be on the Web3.
No, it's not. No, it's not gonna be on Sound XYZ XYM. It will be an NFT. It's not an NFT. It will be. I'm actually selling it out of my trunk, so you can get a vinyl and the CD hard copies, and that's your cat. Top boy, in it.
Top boy.
All right, G.